Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are tackling something I think we've all felt. You're in a super important conversation, but you're not really in it? Let's figure out why that is, and more importantly, what we can do about it.
Yeah, this one hits home, doesn't it? I mean, think about it. The conversation is happening, ideas are flying back and forth, and you're just there, on the sidelines, silent. It's that exact feeling we're going to dig into today.
Okay, so picture this. You're in a meeting, and it's not like you have nothing to say. You've got experience, you've got ideas. Maybe you've been thinking about this exact problem for weeks. You know you could add value, but for some reason, you just don't. Something holds you back. So what on earth is that something?
Right, and let's get one thing straight. This isn't just, stage fright or a fear of public speaking. It's not because you're bored either. It's something way more subtle. It's that challenging little gap between having a great thought in your head and actually getting it out into the room in a way that people hear and, value.
So why is it so hard, right? I mean, it feels like it should be simple. Well, it turns out there are a bunch of barriers, both spoken and unspoken. Some are obvious, right in your face, and others are more, they're just a feeling.
So on the surface, you've got the usual suspects, right? First, you walk into a room where the dynamic is already set. The same 2 or 3 people always do all the talking. Then there's that little voice of self-doubt in your head, whispering, is my idea really that great? Is it new? And of course, you worry about how you'll sound. You don't want to come off as aggressive or clumsy. And sometimes just the pace of the room, the whole culture of it, can feel totally intimidating.
But here's the thing. Underneath all of those practical fears, there's a much deeper, more powerful idea at play. It's this concept called symbolic permission. It's that nagging, unspoken feeling that you don't actually have the right to take up that conversational space. It's like you're waiting for an invitation, for someone to say, hey, what do you think? An invitation that almost never comes.
And realizing that changes everything. It's the big turning point. Because to get past this, we don't just need a few tips and tricks. We need a whole new mindset, a fundamental shift from thinking about tactics to thinking about positioning.
So here's the shift, right here. For so long, we've been asking the wrong question. We ask, how do I speak? Or when's the right moment to jump in? That's all tactical. The new question, the real game changer, is how do I position myself to contribute? See the difference? This moves the problem from being about timing to being about presence.
Because here's the secret. Making your contribution doesn't start the moment you decide to talk. No, it starts way before you even open your mouth.
Okay, so now that we have the mindset right, let's get into the practical stuff, the how-to. I've got 5 concrete ways you can contribute. And the key here is that none of them involve forcing your way in. It's all about finding a natural opening.
All right, here's your toolkit. These are designed to create those openings for you. Let's go through them. First up, just ask a question. Seriously, it's a super low-risk way to get in, and it can open up a whole new direction for the conversation. Number 2, back someone else up. Find a point you agree with, and then add your own little spin. It sounds like, that's a great point, Laura, and building on that. See, you're an ally, not an attacker. Third, bring receipts. Support the chat with specific data or a quick personal story. Facts and experiences are incredibly valuable and really hard to ignore. Fourth, use what I call invitation language. Phrases like, I see, or I wonder if. It lowers everyone's defenses and invites people to think with you instead of arguing against you. And finally, and this one is golden, speak early. The longer you wait, the bigger the pressure gets. A small, simple contribution right at the beginning is so much better than the perfect genius point that you never end up making.
So we've got the tools now. We know how to do it, but let's take a step back and talk about why this is so incredibly important. I mean, what's really at stake every time we decide to just stay quiet?
Yep, really think about that for a second. What happens if you say nothing? Because that silence, it's not neutral. It's sending a message.
And this is the real cost. It's not just a missed opportunity. When you consistently stay on the sidelines, you risk becoming, symbolically invisible. People just stop seeing you as part of the conversation. And guess who gets remembered for the next big project or decision? The people who were in the arena.
And I want to be super clear about something. This has nothing to do with ego or needing to be the center of attention. Not at all. This is about being an active participant in creating the culture of your team. It's about building real influence by adding value and establishing your presence as a thoughtful, engaged person in the room.
And if you take away only one thing from this explainer, let it be this. This is so powerful. You don't ask for the space. You don't wait for permission to be granted. The space is already there. Your job, our job, is to inhabit it, to own it, to make it better just by being in it.
So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. For those of you who figured this out, who've learned how to find your voice, how did you do it? What's your secret for entering a conversation without feeling like you're forcing it? Because it's a skill, and it's one we can all get better at.